So here we are, episode 1 of the Chinwag, a collaboration with Stormworth Studios, Birmingham Dogs Home and me. We're going to be talking to business leaders, business owners who have dogs, simple as that really, and we're going to be talking about everything from business, obviously, dogs, obviously, and Birmingham, and everything else in between. So the first guest is Kelly Ellis. I didn't have much choice about this one because she's my wife. She owns a company called The Mortgage Mum. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay.
You okay?
I'm all right, yeah.
So talk to me more about who you are. I seem to know, I've got used to who you are. I've known you now for what? Oh God, help me out.
2007.
2007. Okay, so whatever that is, quite a long time.
Long time.
Tell our audience, and there'll be thousands and thousands and thousands no doubt, a little bit about yourself.
So I run The Mortgage Mum.
Yep.
So mortgage and protection based in Streetley.
Yep.
So mortgages, obviously, life insurance, critical illness cover, everything that goes with it, income protection, family protection, all of that kind of lovely stuff. And we've obviously got the 2 kids.
Yes, Blake and Minnie.
Yeah.
And another one who's knocking about here somewhere. Bo,
He's over there.
come on boy.
Come on.
Here we go.
hello.
Come and say hello to everyone. Oh, he's gone to you. He only comes to me when we want some food.
Yeah,
Gutted.
good boy.
Here he is. Anyway, so Blake, Minnie and Bo. And I wanted you to be our first guest for a number of reasons, really. A, because you've told me that you will be the first guest. And B, to talk about the journey that we've had with the Dogs Home. Little bit of plug. It's been a massive help to us as a family. So tell us how that feels for you, because I could talk about it forever, but what's the journey been like in not only getting our first dog as a family, because I know you grew up around dogs, but also the journey you've had with this charity?
So I don't know if you'd remember, well, I'm sure you probably do remember, but many years ago when Blake was at school, he got bit by a dog outside of school.
Yeah.
And
you know what, you've actually just reminded me of that. I couldn't remember. Yeah, of course, I remember.
That then gave him a massive fear of dogs, and you also had a massive fear of dogs.
Thanks.
And I wanted us to deal with that and get over it because, I grew up with dogs and it was just wonderful and they bring so much joy, I think. So contacting the Dogs Home was really a no-brainer for me. I had to do a business plan. Do you remember my business plan?
Yeah, so can I say that? Because that sounds...
Okay.
No, go on. You tell me what your memory is around that business plan.
Basically, what I had to do was create a financial spreadsheet showing the implications and costs of having a dog.
Yeah, I do remember that. I remember you actually presenting it like you were pitching for some work.
Yeah.
You know why I asked you to do that? I think, just to give it some context, I didn't grow up around dogs. We were in a world where I was crying in the shower most days because we had like 28 members of staff. We were in COVID. We weren't too sure what was going to happen the next day, let alone the next week. And I just thought it's a big responsibility. And actually, I remember what you did, and it wasn't about the money as such. Of course, you've got to think about there is additional costs, but I certainly haven't felt like Bo's a burden in that sense. But for me, it was more around, how we're going to balance our lives and look after another person, albeit furry. And what else would it bring to the family? And can you remember what you were telling me around that? Because for me, that was the most powerful stuff. I mean, some of it quite scary and quite sad, but do you remember the stuff you were telling me about what else it would bring to our family?
Was it just about like the sheer joy of having this little thing in your house that just loves you unconditionally, no matter how you're feeling, no matter what day you've had?
Yeah, look at him, man, loving it.
It's just...
Right,
it's unconditional, isn't it?
Yeah.
And,
you said to me, sorry, go on.
And it gives you a lot of life lessons, I think, and experiences that I wanted the kids to experience.
Do you remember one of those experiences that you said we'd go through?
I don't, remind me.
Well, what's my fear? What's my big...
Death, okay, yeah.
just to bring the tone down, yeah, death. Remember what you were talking to me about that?
Just learning to live with the death of a dog is a lesson.
I didn't have any grandparents, did I? So I've lost friends, but family blood, fortunately, I haven't had to lose anyone yet. And you said, and because of that, I think, I am quite scared of death because of that. And also, I really like living, sort of thing, But you said to me that the dog or having a dog, unfortunately, generally means that you would lose a dog, given how long dogs last. And because of that, we would mourn, and the kids would be taught to mourn. I don't want to talk about that too much, because remember, we got upset in the park the other day, didn't we? Do you remember? Yeah. I mean, that was a brilliant lesson for me, because I thought that would be such a value add. But that compassion and that companionship and all those things that I've seen, the way it's helped me with my mental health. I mean, I'm not putting words in your mouth, but as a family, we're better, right?
He's changed you 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
He's chilled you out a bit.
Just a bit.
Well, loads.
Okay, fair enough.
It's really, it's hard to find the words to explain what he's done, but you're his person, which
I'm a bit wounded,
I'm
he's not
surprised
sitting
at,
next to me,
because
to
you
be
were
fair.
the one that was the most, not against it, but the most unsure.
Yeah.
And he's picked you now, so you're the one that he goes to, and he will literally sit on your chest and just give you loads of love, and you react to that in a really lovely way as well.
Yeah.
And it's the journey that you've been on with him has just been amazing, and everything I expected.
Oh, thanks, Cal.
I knew it would happen.
And I see it with you. I mean, I see it with us. I see we're walking together more, aren't we? We're having chats away from the house. It's difficult. We both own businesses, and we're often working from home together.
Yeah.
And we could easily, I suppose, talk about that and nothing else a lot.
It would be really easy for me and you to sit on that computer and literally not get out of our seats for 8 hours.
Yeah.
But we're accountable now for this one.
Yeah.
So
Look at him.
we do.
Hello, mate.
He's made a difference to our family, and he has made a difference to our mental health.
Yeah,
and our
100%.
exercise and just lots of things.
Yeah.
It's just.
I did a talk here actually the other day, and just here, and Rachel and Fee had asked me to say some words about the journey we'd had, and I thought, what shall I say? So I started to look through my phone, and I saw these photos. I mean, you know this story, and there were just loads of trees, and I'd remembered that I'd start taking a photograph of the same tree every day, every time I went for a walk, and there were nearly 600 photographs of this same tree in different seasons, in different stages of blossom, whatever it might be. And it hit me that actually the dog, Bo, had enabled that. If he wasn't around, if we wasn't doing the things that he needed and we needed, I wouldn't have seen the things that I've seen.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have got out and got that bandwidth that I need. So yeah, there's just so much more layers to having a dog than I think some people know, especially someone that's been so scared of dogs growing up. I mean, now I would not be without dogs. It's as simple as that.
Absolutely, 100%.
So, tell me more about that balancing act of running your own business, working from home, having to go to see clients, whatever it might be, picking up kids, and then having a dog. Do you feel that you struggle with that? Was the Dogs Home able to match you with the right dog? You know, I want people to know that it's not a challenge, or as challenging as I certainly thought, you know, having a dog and carrying on with your normal life. Talk to me more about that.
I think the Dogs Home were brilliant in their due diligence of making sure that the dog that we had was the right dog for us in terms of the space that we have at home, what we were kind of looking for in terms of temperament, and it just really, really worked well. They really care about where their dogs are going, and that's so important.
Yeah.
And I think in terms of how this works with my job, because of his temperament and how he is, and because he's only dinky.
As you can probably tell, right?
Yeah, he's only dinky, so we do walk him every single day, and he gets a lot of love and a lot of fuss.
Yeah.
But he will just come and sit next to us when we're working on the computer, and he's quite quiet until the kids come home. It's a different story.
Bit yappy at times.
Yeah.
Bit yappy.
But he's fit in really, really well. But I think because we're accountable, we have to take breaks, and it's important to take breaks when you're working and to have 5 minutes off and go and get some fresh air, go and stand outside with the dog so we can go to the toilet.
But the matching process was bang on without noticing, right? Because I just assumed I'd want a small dog because I was scared of big dogs. I'm getting a lot more comfortable now with bigger dogs. But actually our lifestyle wouldn't have allowed for us to have a bigger dog. No. So actually without knowing, we were just placed, if that's the right word, with this dog that needed his forever home. A dog that came in with 4 or 5 brothers, didn't he? I wish we'd had the lot. It was sad, actually. I remember the conversation I had with Rachel around this. They were saying how we'd put, close your ears, Bo, we'd put our name down for a cockapoo, hadn't we? You know, the fashionable dog at the time. Everyone was getting a cockapoo. Put the, I don't know, it was like 5 or 6 grand or whatever it might be. And yeah, I mean, I remember Rachel saying that everyone was buying dogs and getting dogs within COVID, but actually, before they knew it, they'd be starting to get inundated with dogs being handed back because people were going back to work and not being able to. So we got lucky in that sense, didn't we? In that Bo was handed back and we were able to give him his forever home. So what impact do you think it's had on our kids?
Oh my gosh. So Blake is completely over his fear of dogs.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Bo sleeps with Blake every night.
I know.
As you know.
I sort of missed that because he used to sleep with us, didn't he? Do you remember me? He's not sleeping in that bed. 2 weeks, I was like, come here.
Yeah, we've been a bit rubbish with that, haven't we, though? He kind of rules the roost at home.
Say rubbish. This is like convention that teaches us that we shouldn't be doing things like that. Rubbish in the sense that it's brilliant.
Yeah.
I'll have more of that rubbish in my life.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah.
The best thing, I think, with the kids is that we've had Bo now. It will be 4 years this summer.
Oh man, that's gone too quick.
It's
Slow down. Time has got to slow down.
But every day they walk in from school, it's like the first time that they're seeing him.
Yeah, and vice versa.
It's just so exciting. There's like a little party at the end of school every day, and it's just wonderful. I think Bo thinks he's a human. I think he thinks he's his age.
Isn't he? Would you want him to talk if you could?
No.
What you want to keep the sense of sort of like mystery.
I'd love to hear what his voice would sound like if he could talk. But I think if he could talk,
I think he's quite posh. I don't know.
Do you think?
I don't know. I'm more of a lad, maybe. Right, mate.
How are you?
I don't know. Maybe northern. What am I saying? Not Yorkshire Terrier, isn't he? I suppose. So, you know, he's probably got a pet falcon or whatever it is, or a kestrel. You know.
I don't want him to talk because I think then he's going to have opinions and he might judge. And at the moment, he can't and doesn't do any of that. He just loves you no matter what.
Well, that's the unconditional. I bet that was the thing I said, actually. I got really quite choked, actually. It must have been a long day. But I said to the room that I'm starting to become the person that my dog thinks I am.
Oh, that's so lovely.
Yeah, because they don't judge. No. They don't chat away. They don't chit-chat.
I can't believe how good he's been.
He looks pretty scared. He's looking at me thinking, I know where I am, but I'm not too sure what Mum and Dad are doing. Yeah, I mean, I've seen it in the kids. I mean, to think that Blake, he lives in Blake's room, and there's that routine of when Blake goes to bed, that Bo goes to bed, and yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. So I assume if you were going to talk to anyone about having a dog, you'd probably give them the whole thumbs up, right? As in that it's the best thing you can do.
Absolutely. And 100% rehome, adopt.
If you can.
Make that your first choice.
Yeah. Do you know how, I don't know the numbers, but there are over 200 dogs in this charity at the moment that they're struggling to rehome.
That's really sad.
And I don't want to get it take the mood down, but if they don't rehome these dogs into their forever homes, well, you know what happens. And to think that happens, I mean, is beyond me. So all right, tell people who are listening about the program. How much did it cost to get Bo?
So I think it was.
Bearing in mind the cockapoo was going to. Nothing against cockapoos, by the way. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful dogs. But it was going to cost us £5,000, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I think it was. Was it £100 for the adoption, and then I think we paid another £100 to get him.
It was nothing, wasn't it? That's my point. Absolutely nothing. They did everything for us, didn't they? The jabs.
Oh yeah.
The defleeing. They took his balls.
Yes.
Sorry, but he didn't look at me for 3 weeks after that, and I still don't think. I still think there's a little bit of there's a bit of a challenge there still, isn't there, mate, when we mention it? But it hasn't stopped him. Him and Minnie Mouse have a great time every night, don't they, mate?
Every night after he's eaten, he's got a strict routine.
It's almost like he smokes, like sort of thing. He has food and then he has sex. I mean, well, what he thinks is sex. But yeah, fair play. He's living the life. I mean, I would suggest that people, if they can, adopt or rehome a dog and give them their forever home. I would certainly be doing that. And hence the reason why Stormworks is collaborating with Birmingham Dogs Home on this Chinwag series. So talking to Chinwag, what else do you want to talk about? Are you sleeping, Bab? What's going on?
Am I sleeping?
Yeah, let's talk about something else. I really know how you're sleeping, but is everything all right?
Everything is okay, yeah. I think we because we're self-employed, we function at a
Imagine if you started
low level
saying no.
anxiety consistently.
Sorry, I spoke over you then. What were you
We
saying?
function at a level of anxiety
Yeah.
consistently, I feel.
I'm not sure you're painting the right picture, but yeah, probably I'd have
But
to
it's
agree.
great. It's great, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah.
And for
Business
the
all right?
record as well, I'd like to say that when you are in a position where I can retire,
Yeah.
my goal would be to take the dogs from the dogs home, the
Yeah.
older dogs
Yeah.
that are going to really struggle to be rehomed,
Yeah.
bring them all to ours.
Yeah, let's
so
do
get
it.
ready for that.
There's
okay?
a few of them out there now that probably we could take home.
I don't think I'll be able
Does
to.
Bo
even
need a
eat
friend
that.
soon, do you think?
Yes.
Yeah. Bigger dog, smaller dog?
Oh,
Can
let's
you get
just
smaller
see.
dogs? I don't know.
Let's just see.
Yeah, I'm comfortable moving up,
Okay.
you know,
As long as he's not in
a
our
breed. Oh, you know, we can get a nice dog bed at the end of the bed. It's big enough, isn't it? So, so business okay?
Business is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very busy. It's a
Cool.
really strange mortgage market at the
Yeah.
moment. This week especially, we've had some lenders decide to put their rates up, some have
Yeah.
put them down, some have
Okay.
done a mix of both, which is crazy.
It's weird me asking this because I know exactly what the answer is, but it's good busy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's the next
Always.
steps then with Mortgage Mum? What we saying?
I think you should maybe consider helping me out a little bit with it.
Okay.
I think
Well-
there's an untapped market in business protection that I'd like to look at.
Okay.
think
Well,
we'd be quite
on
good
that
at that.
note, I best change into something then.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Oh, looks good.
What do you think?
Yeah, I love it.
It's black, it's slimming, there's a bit of pop going on here, the Mortgage Mum. She's basically coerced me to start growing her business. So anyone out there that, can I do a plug?
Yeah,
It
go
doesn't
for
matter, does it? Anyone that needs some business insurance, I'll be sliding into DMs soon, right? Yeah. So
Good lad.
now, you know what? I'm really proud of what you've done because when I saw you go from a radio DJ producer or whatever it was back in the day, getting up at 2 a.m. to go and do the shift, and that journey you've been on, to now find yourself doing things that make you so happy for people that, you know, you make life easy for mums that are navigating this very difficult world and then navigating an even more difficult mortgage market. And the way you help them, I mean, yeah, I'm really proud. So I'm actually proud to join this company because it's got the values that I also have when it comes to delivering the work that we promise people that we will. So I'm looking forward to helping you. So
Good.
why did we call him Bo? I've got to get this in. And you might not remember, to be fair.
Oh, I remember why we called him Bo.
There
We
we
called him
go,
Bo
here we
because
go.
of Birmingham City.
Yes, I had to get that in. But you do know it's Bo Brummie as in B-E-A-U.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I've shortened it a little bit, to be fair, right? We nearly didn't call it Bo, and can you remember, sorry mate, him. We nearly didn't call him Bo, and can you remember why that was?
I think, so the advice I got was from the dog's home.
Yeah.
And they said Bo also sounds like no.
No, yeah.
So
And we did struggle with
when
that a
you're
little
trying
bit,
to
didn't we?
train him,
Yeah.
if you're saying no, he might just think you're saying his name and he might get confused.
Yeah. And it did a little bit at the start,
Yeah,
didn't it? But
it
he
did a
certainly
little
know, well, I don't know, maybe it didn't work because he doesn't really know the meaning of no, does he? Maybe that's what it is. But he couldn't be anything other than Bo now. It's like looking at your kid and going, Blake couldn't be an Edward or Minnie couldn't be a Jenny. Not against anything against those names, but it's like Bo, you look at him and go, he couldn't be anything else.
Yeah.
And it's bizarre. If Bo was in your company, if we were back, and we're not going to put him in a hoodie, guys, don't worry, although we should.
not bad,
like we did at Christmas. What would he say to you, or what would he bring to your business that you need? He's around you more than me when it comes to business, sitting on the...
I think, well, it's very easy in my job to get carried away. It's very easy to
Yeah.
get very stressed.
Yeah.
Especially if you're struggling to find a solution for a client that's maybe got some kind of credit history issues or employment issues or however that may look. And I
Yeah.
think Bo would be the kind of person to say, right, take a minute,
Sure.
chunk it up, go
Chunk
back to
it
the beginning, just slow down
Yeah.
and calm down.
I love that.
That's what I think
Well,
you'd do.
we should take that advice, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Thanks, Bo. I appreciate that advice, mate. Thank you. You're a very wise man. He looks like a wise
does look like a
Yoda,
wise old
doesn't
man,
he?
yep.
Or sometimes he looks out the window. He looks like a war veteran. That he's thinking about those
thinking
days in
about
the
those
trenches.
times,
Do
yeah.
you remember when we mocked him up like in a beret, green
Yeah.
beret with medals?
Got that on the wall in Blake's room.
I mean, and there's me saying to the world, I'm so busy. Can't be that busy if I'm doing that, right? Listen, is there anything else you want to say? This is, you're the first guest on what I hope is going to be a conversation that helps a number of people understand what it's like to own a dog.
Yeah.
That is the fundamental message I want to deliver, that it is brilliant. There are a million things. It has saved, it's certainly improved, maybe even saved my life as to how anxious and at times dark places I was in, right? And that sounds deep, but he did. It's as simple as that, right? So I hope this conversation enables people to understand that it's not just about dog shit and dinners. You know, excuse my French, it brings so much more to the agenda, doesn't it?
So much.
So on that note, have you got anything else to say?
I would say to anybody that's watching this, if they're as anti-dog as you were,
which I
or
was,
as unsure,
anti-dog,
come to the dog's home, see the dogs, and just get a feel for it, and just try, because honestly, they enrich your lives 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
1,000,000%.
And if there's anything like your dog that you had back in the day, Barney, he might even get on the bus to the pub. Barney used to get on the bus, and you used to find him at the Scott Arms, didn't you?
He was like a human all on his own. So it was back in the day when you would see dog poo in the street.
Yeah,
you would see dogs
were
on their
outside
own
animals, weren't they?
Yeah, so Barney we used to let him out the front, and he'd just go off for a wander. And sometimes he'd end up by one stop, and sometimes he'd get on the 52 and get out to the Scott Arms.
Did you have to pay? Did you have to pay? Did you have has he got opposable thumbs to be able to put the 21p?
He just wandered on, and then the vet would call and say, yeah, he's just wandered down to the Scott Arms again.
Oh, is that John? Hi, John. Yeah, he's at the Scott Arms again. Yeah, he got on the bus. Oh, all right, cheers.
You'd never do that now, isn't it? Isn't it crazy how times change?
Time moves on, and to be fair, I wouldn't want Bo out there.
Absolutely not, no.
Yeah. Well, listen, we're going to carry on the conversation with loads of other guests. I'm really grateful that you came on. At least you'll always be the first, right? And Bo, you'll be in and around the first conversation, which is where it all started, I suppose. A big thanks to Birmingham Dogs Home, big thanks to Stormworks Studios for making this happen. Cannot wait to carry on the conversation. We've got a brilliant guest coming up for episode 2, and I'll tell you a bit more about her soon. Cheers. Boom. Boom.